What's up? Trying to figure out how to get this goddamn thing started, guys. It looks like all right. It looks like it has officially started. All right. I had some technical difficulties. One second. All right. So I had some problems trying to get this damn thing started. Just trying to get used to StreamYard and trying to get used to how this whole setup works. So forgive me for being 2 minutes late. But at any rate, so this live stream is going to be about Tasha K and actually, you know what? So I was actually confused on what to name this live stream. So what it's about is Tasha K and what she did in terms of putting Rkelly's information out there and how she, in my opinion, she basically committed witness tampering, right? So everything in this video is alleged, right? None of this is actual facts, right? This is all based off of my opinion. There will be some facts in this video. I'm sorry. The facts are going to be the law, but in terms of like what actually happened, I can't really tell you because I wasn't there and I don't know, right? So everything in this video is actually alleged. So um, allegedly, what's happened is that Tasha K basically got access to prison records and she put it all over the internet and it impacted Rkelly's trial, right? So that's what this video is about. So ironically, I don't think Tasha K can actually be held liable for the things that she's done, right? That's my own personal opinion, right? And I'm going to get into all that and I'm going to get into the reason why I think she can be held accountable. And, just give me a second here just to get my bearings going. Um, one second here. One second. I should be more prepared for these things. I was ripping and running, but I couldn't get all my little errands done. Then I ended up going stepping. So I'm finally back, but I'm not prepared as I should be. Uh, okay. All right. So let me just start off with an article. Like, if you don't know who Rkelly is, basically, for those of you that are just tuning in, Rkelly is a R&B genius, right? When it comes down to music, he's pretty much the king of R&B, right? So everybody knows that. The only way you may not know that is if you're not really into African American culture. You don't really know anything about R&B, so you may not know who Rkelly is. And then when it comes down to Tasha K, Tasha K is a blogger. She's a very successful blogger. Um, she's very entertaining. And, so she's had some legal problems in the past. One of the problems she's had is with Cardi B. She came out and made several accusations about Cardi B, and Cardi B basically turned around and sued her, right? So this is kind of a similar situation where similar, but not quite similar, I guess. If you guys allow me to contradict myself, similar in the sense that, and we're going to get into this, right? Actually, let's just go ahead and get into it, right? And you'll see why some of the things that she's done in Rkelly's situation is kind of similar to the Cardi B situation. Whereas Cardi B, allegedly, she came out and just made a lot of untrue statements. With Rkelly's case, she basically came out and she revealed some of Rkelly's personal communications, right? Allegedly, right? And the similarities is that simply she's putting this stuff out on the internet. But with that said, I don't think Tasha K can actually be held accountable. So let me try to share my screen, and we can get into this one real fast. 1 second here. Actually, 1 second here. All right, we'll just start off with this article. This is actually, I don't know if you can actually see it. It looks like you may not be able to see it. Hold on a second. Let me try this again because it's not sharing what I wanted it to share. Let's try this one more time. Yeah, you guys got to forgive me. I'm kind of new at this live streaming business. So, all right, entire screen. That's what we want. The entire screen. All right. So we'll start off with this article. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me see something here. Yeah, so you can see it. You can definitely see it. So, here's the thing, right? So there's this article, and I'll just read the highlights of this article. And it goes, retired Chicago prisoner officer faces FBI probe for sharing Kelly's phone calls, emails, digital logs with popular YouTube gossip vlogger who revealed salacious details of the star's love life while drinking huge goblets of wine, right? So this is kind of the article that just kind of set it off a little bit. One of the articles, this is how I came to find out about it. I think actually I found out from another blogger, and then I actually found this article. And then it basically goes on. Retired U.S. prison officers under a federal investigation for allegedly leaking a treasure trove of illegally accessed information about disgraced musician Rkelly to a popular YouTube gossip vlogger, right? And then it goes on. The online personality known as Tasha K posted a number of videos in which she sips wine and shares salacious information to her thousands of followers, quoting verbatim from Rkelly's recorded phone calls, emails, visitor logs, according to the federal search warrant obtained by the Chicago Tribune. Right. So we'll just leave it right there. Right. So those of you that are familiar with the Rkelly trial, you basically know this as the saga between Azriel and Jocelyn Savage. I think if I'm remembering this correctly, this was around the time where Azriel Clary was basically flipped. And from my understanding, right? From my understanding, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but from my understanding, what happened allegedly, Tasha K shared a lot of information, a lot of communications that Rkelly had with Azriel Clary, and she somehow caused this. This somehow led to Azriel Clary actually flipping on Rkelly. Now, there could be much more to that. I can't remember all the details because it's actually been some time ago. If you guys know, then definitely go ahead and fill in the blanks, or fill in the missing pieces. Let me actually stop sharing here. So if you know, definitely feel free to fill in the pieces here. So basically, hold on a second. Looks like I lost the window here. Give me a second here. All right, I got it back. So yeah, so basically, oh damn, come on now. I'm having problems, guys. Sorry. So sorry. Give me 1 second. All right. So basically, this is one of the reasons that allegedly Azriel Clary decided to flip on Rkelly and basically testify against him. I don't know that they could have got, and when I say testify, I'm referring to the New York trial, which is in the Federal District of New York. Without this testimony, I don't know if they could have actually convicted Rkelly, because to me it seems like Rkelly was a huge part of the trial. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know that other people did testify, such as, um, yeah, I'm wearing a mask. I'm wearing a goddamn mask. Look, the reason I'm wearing a mask is because this is about my channel. This is not about, like when I get on here, I'm really just trying to focus on the topics. I don't want people to, try to dig into who I am and where I came from, so on and so forth. So I'll just post some of these comments. I don't even think I can share it, actually. Let me see if I can share a pin message. So Jane Doe is basically saying, why are you in a mask? I'm in a mask because my personal life is my personal life. I don't want people trying to figure out who I am and basically trying to, get in my own personal business. This is about, law. This is about, the topics at hand. I don't want you guys to focus on me. So that's why it's all about, me that's why I'm basically wearing a mask. And then who else is on there? Jane Doe basically says, let me pin another one of her comments. Free Rkelly. He is 100% innocent. They should lock up all the so-called crime victims. Definitely one of the perspectives that a lot of people have. Let's go to the next message. Jane Doe also says, how wouldn't the Bureau of Prisons know Tasha K to get rid of Rkelly information? Why her when there is so many bloggers? Tasha K show get in trouble just like the other show. So here's the difference, right? And this is what we're going to get into. So Tasha K, and if I go back and read the article, right, the article is going to allege that Tasha K got the information directly from the officer in the Bureau of Prisons. That's why Tasha K. And that's what this stream is all about. Whether or not Tasha K can be held accountable for that, because you have a Bureau of Prisons officer getting this information when she shouldn't really have access to this information at all. I mean, she's not working on the Rkelly's case. She doesn't have anything to do with Rkelly. She is just somebody who actually has access, and basically she's abusing her access to get information that she shouldn't have. Just because you have access doesn't mean you have the right to go and basically start randomly looking up people. That's not how it actually works. Give me 1 second here, guys. Yeah, that's not how it actually works. Let me see here. Another message. I got a hater on here too. So T is blunt basically says, what's with the mask? Is this another clown act? No, like I said, not a clown act. I just this show is not about me. And I just want to make this show about the show and nothing to do with the non-lawyer. So that's why I'm wearing a mask. Let me see here. Let's pin another message. Remember, Tasha K has a brother working in that same jail too. That I didn't know about. That's news to me. If you have any more information on that, definitely paste it. And you know what? Let me go ahead and post this StreamYard link. So if you guys want to hop on and speak your piece, you're definitely welcome to hop on. Just give me 1 second here. So if you want to hop on and speak your piece, you're more than welcome. And then Sir Miguel retracted his message. T.S. Blunt basically says, from the beginning, the middle, and the end, it's a crime on that period. So again, yeah. So I think a crime definitely was committed, but the question is whether or not Tasha K can be held accountable. And to be honest with you, I really don't think so. And then finally, what's up, Sir Miguel? Uh, he's basically saying good to see you back. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm new to this live streaming thing. It's not really my forte here, so hopefully I can get used to it. So anyway, so let's just continue on. So if I can go back to the article, let me go back to the article really fast here. The article basically says the officer named in the warrant as Officer A is accused of illegally accessing Rkelly's private information while he was an inmate at the Chicago Metropolitan Correction Center and leaked it to 39-year-old Tasha K. So basically, this officer gave the information directly to Tasha K, right? And basically, Tasha K allegedly, everything in this video is alleged. So allegedly, the officer gave this information directly to Tasha K. So that basically answered the question why Tasha K, when so many other bloggers were actually, reporting this information. Well, Tasha K basically had a direct link to the individual. So my question is whether or not she paid the person for this information. My question is whether or not she encouraged the person to actually grab the information. Because if she paid the person, I guess there's two scenarios. One scenario could be, and this is all a fantasy where I'm not saying this actually happened. I don't know what happened because I wasn't there. So in one scenario, this officer has access to this information. They know that this information is important or it's valuable. And they're like, well, damn, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to go ahead and basically sell it to a YouTube blogger, right? So that's one scenario. And then she looks up to see who is the person best suited to sell this stuff to. And she goes, okay, I'm just going to sell it to Tasha K. So that's one hypothetical scenario. Another hypothetical scenario is that Tasha K reached out to the officer and Tasha K actually asked officer to actually go and get that information. That is definitely that's definitely a situation where I think Tasha K should basically be held accountable, but she's never going to be held accountable if that is indeed what happened. And we'll get into why she's never going to be held accountable in a second here. But basically, the law that is involved in this whole thing, one of the laws, right, is basically 18, Section 18, Chapter 119, Wire and Electronic Communications Interception and Interception of Oral Communications. So I actually covered this in a couple of videos, and I'm not going to go through all of that here in this video. I just wanted to reiterate the actual law that's, I believe, is going to be used to prosecute Tasha K if she's ever prosecuted. And I doubt that she'll ever be prosecuted. And I'll get into why in a second here. But basically, if you want to look this law up yourself, you can go through it. I actually have a couple of videos. I think they're labeled Deep Throat Tasha K Goes to Jail, right? And in those videos, I basically go through all that, right? So let me see if I can read some more comments. Shakira Mohammed. What's going on, Shakira? I remember you. Basically, Shakira says that she committed a crime. For obvious reasons, she won't be held accountable. Under normal circumstances, Tasha K will be locked up. I know this for a fact. So yeah, and we're gonna get into. Well, actually, it's actually surprising why she won't be held accountable. There's two explanations. The first explanation, you guys are pretty much already kind of figured out that if they mess with Tasha K, they could be messing with the actual. Let me stop sharing my screen. They could be messing with the actual prosecution of Rkelly, because how in the hell are you going to go after Tasha K without risking messing up the guilty verdict that you already have on Rkelly? So that's one reason, not to let the cat out of the bag too soon, but that's one reason why Tasha K will never be prosecuted. Because if you prosecute Tasha K, you're going to have to deal with the fact that she committed witness tampering. And once you introduce that, now you're basically going to create a situation where Rkelly can get an appeal based on the fact that Tasha K tampered with Rkelly, and she tampered with, um, his private communications. And I was actually on another blog, on another channel, someone else's channel, and they were arguing that his communications isn't private. The prison can gain access to that information anytime they want. Well, yeah, the prison can gain access to the information anytime they want, but you have in my personal opinion, and this is where someone else can probably correct me if I'm wrong, if you're a lawyer and you know about these type of things. This is just my opinion, but my line of thinking is that, yeah, I would fully expect for prison officials to monitor my emails, my communications, my phone calls, my visitors, and things of that nature. I would fully expect them to monitor that stuff. But I wouldn't expect for a blogger to get access to that information and then post it on the internet. So I think that's going to be a unreasonable breach of privacy. Yeah, I can accept the fact that the prison officers are going to be able to have access to that information and comb through all my phone calls and emails and make sure I'm not doing shit illegal. Yeah, I expect that. But the fucking Tasha K, I wouldn't expect Tasha K to have access to my shit and putting it out on the internet. That's why I'm wearing a motherfucking mask now, because I don't want you motherfuckers digging in my background trying to, put my shit out on the internet, So wearing a mask is one way I establish a reasonable expectation of privacy. Yeah, I'm out here blogging and everything, but I'm not putting myself out on the internet for the public view. This is just basically a persona. But just getting back on the point, I don't think Rkelly would expect for Tasha K to be putting this shit on the internet. I think that she violated his right to privacy. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later, too. You guys just have to remind me to remember to keep talking about that. Let me see. So, Sir Miguel. At the end of the day, right is right. Oh, no, I read that already. 1 second here. Sir Miguel basically says that Tasha K put the information on her Patreon account as well. Shakir Muhammad. If Tracy K didn't already know this particular officer, my guess is that the officer was a channel watcher and willingly sent her the info. With that being said, I do believe that money was exchanged. So yeah, that's just it. And I think, like I said, the law actually prohibits, selling the information. The Wire Act that I basically showed you guys earlier, and you can look into that or you can watch my videos. And like she should, in my own personal opinion, I think that Tasha K should be prosecuted. But here's the thing. If money wasn't exchanged, so let me actually just get into deep throat journalism, which is one of the main reasons that I think Tasha K wouldn't be prosecuted. And this really doesn't have anything to do with Rkelly per se. But let me just go ahead and get into deep throat journalism. I thought I had found the wiki page, but let me deep throat. If I can spell. All right. So the term actually goes as far back as Watergate, right? So I'm just going to read verbatim what's here, and we'll just go from there, right? So it basically says deep throat. So I made several videos, and I was calling Tasha K Deep Throat, right? Deep Throat Tasha K set to go to jail. And a lot of people, they were like, oh, dude, you trying to hate on Tasha K. You trying to talk shit about her. I really wasn't. I really wasn't. The term deep throat has a very specific meaning, and let's go ahead and get into that now. Basically, deep throat is a pseudonym given to the secret informant who provided information in 1972, Bob Woodard, who shared with Carl Bernstein. Woodard and Bernstein were reporters for the Washington Post, and the deep throat provided key details about the involvement of U.S. President Richard Nixon's administration in what came to be known as Watergate. In 2005, 31 years after Nixon's resignation and 11 years after Nixon's death, a family attorney stated that the former Federal Bureau of Investigation Associate Director Mark Felt was the deep throat. By then, Felt was suffering from dementia and had previously denied being deep throat. But Woodard and Bernstein then confirmed the attorney's claim, right? So that's just kind of like a quick history of what deep throat journalism is all about. And basically, it's anybody who shares information about a criminal case or criminal act or criminal conduct, and it basically these people can't be touched. Actually, I forgot to read the section. I don't know if the Wikipedia is going to go into that, but basically, you can't prosecute. In my personal opinion, right? You can't prosecute somebody who has a deep throat, right? Because those people essentially are protected, by the laws of journalism, and they have a lot of leeway when it comes down to reporting. And now I know a lot of people get into this thing. Well, yeah, blogging is not the news, is not the same thing. And you know what? That's an age-old debate. I'm not even going to touch that. But I think Tasha K won't be touched because she would be considered a deep throat journalist, right? So it all boils down to, how did Tasha K come across the information? Did she pay for it, right? Did she pay for it, or was it just simply offered to her? Did she encourage the officer to go and get the information? Those are some of the questions that the investigators would have to basically ask in order to figure out whether or not Tasha K is going to be prosecuted. But if Tasha K didn't pay for the information, and she didn't ask the officer to get the information, and it was just simply information that was just given to her, then Tasha K is just going to walk away scot-free, to be honest with you. She's going to walk away scot-free, and there's nothing no one can ever do about that, right? Let me know what you think. If you guys, have read up, or you're a lawyer, definitely, let me know what you think in the chat, right? So I think Tasha K has a strong chance of basically walk away. So if you take that and you combine it with the fact that the government trying to prosecute Tasha K over this would jeopardize their conviction, then she's definitely walk away. There's no way in hell they're going to prosecute her, because they would be jeopardizing their prosecution of Rkelly, and they're not going to do that, right? So I think, given these two reasons, Tasha K is never, ever going to be touched over this Rkelly saga. Now, I think if Rkelly wants justice, and there are a lot of videos out there of Rkelly calling in to blogger shows, and Rkelly complaining about Tasha K getting access to his information and putting his information out there. So Rkelly knows what's going on, and he knows what's happened. But to be honest with you, the best move for Rkelly, in my own personal opinion, the best move for Rkelly is to sue Tasha K. And I'm going to get into the reason why in a second. I'm just going to read a few more comments first. Actually, one of the comments basically is what I was going to talk about. He could sue. He could also sue the government for millions. The damage would be astronomical, right? So that's how Rkelly can basically make a difference in this case. I think he actually has to sue, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. That was by Shakira Muhammad, and then Shakira also says, I wouldn't be surprised if this particular Bureau of Prisons officer was acting at the behest of the government. That's another good theory. Of course, I have no, we don't know that, right? We don't know what's going on. We can only allege and come up with different theories. But yeah, that's an interesting theory that the government, and you know what? To be honest with you, a lot of people working in the government, they're just people, just like everybody else, and people do dirty shit. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were like, well, yeah, let's go ahead and put this information out there to see if we can flip one of his girlfriends, or if we can sway the public opinion about him, right? I wouldn't be surprised by that shit, and I wouldn't put it past the government from doing this, right? And I'm not anti-government, by the way. You need good government, you need protection. Without a government, without protection, you would just be living in the motherfucking wild, wild west. Every time you step out of the front door of your house, you would have to have an AK-47 and a motherfucking grenade launcher, right? So I'm not against government, but unfortunately, you just have some bad people in the government, and that who would do shit like this. Chosen One. Chosen One says, leave Tasha K alone. Look, I am not fucking with Tasha K. The only reason I'm talking about this is because, number one, Tasha K is a public persona. And number two, it's basically news to report on or to talk about, right? That's the only reason I'm talking about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about Tasha K. The only reason I'm talking about it, you don't hear me talking about Armand Wiggins. You don't hear me talking about the lead attorney. Why? Because the lead attorney and Armand Wiggins hasn't done anything like this, and there's really nothing to talk about other than basically to talk about how successful their channel is. So that's the only reason I'm talking about Tasha K. So when you hear me say terms like deep throat Tasha K, I'm basically using a journalistic term that's been around. I'm not stuck on Tasha K. Let's see. Shakira says it's more than one way to transfer money without leaving a trail. Oh, for sure, Bitcoin for sure. You fucking use Bitcoin and send money back and forth, and there not be a trail. Cora says, if I'm not mistaken, Tasha did admit to paying for this information. Well, you know what? You got to be careful when you say things like that, especially, me broadcasting this information. You can say whatever you want, but me, I don't have any records, or I don't have any articles, anything I found out there that, said Tasha K admitted to it. So I don't know anything about that. But if she did do it, then she should be sued. We all already know the government ain't gonna do shit because, like I said, they're not gonna jeopardize their prosecution of Rkelly. They're not gonna jeopardize that. And then number two, to be honest with you, there would be it would be a slippery slope decline, because it's hard to prosecute deep throat journalism. Oh, 1 second here. T is Blunt says it's a very dirty game. They are all playing it. It's a pick, choose who you will get. Let me see here. Shakir Muhammad, I say this for reasons I won't speak. I don't put my personal business on the internet. I'm no stranger to the to the dirty tactics that government pull every day on its citizens. I agree with you there. So yeah, so I don't think Tasha K can actually be prosecuted. Um, and just putting aside the Rkelly conviction, there are some examples of people who couldn't be prosecuted for leaking information, right? So you guys may remember WikiLeaks, if I can even pronounce the name right, WikiLeaks, right? So basically, the guy worked. Let's just go ahead and look at the wiki for WikiLeaks to give you an understanding why it would be so difficult to actually prosecute Tasha K. All right, one second here. All right, so WikiLeaks is an NGO owned by Iceland company Sunshine Press Productions that runs a website that has published news leaks as classified media provided by anonymous sources. It was founded by Julian Assange, an Australian editor, publisher, and activist who is currently fighting extradition to the U.S. over the work of WikiLeaks. Since September 2018, Christine Rathnussen, I can't even pronounce that name. If you guys can pronounce it, more power to you. Let me know how you pronounce that. Has served as its editor in chief. Its website stated in 2015 that it had released online 10 million documents since the beginning of 2006 in Iceland. WikiLeaks' most recent publication was in 2021, and its most recent publication of original documents was 2019. Beginning in November 2022, many of the documents cannot be accessed. So this article this thing is not really getting into what I actually want to speak about, but basically, they had a really hard time trying to prosecute Julian Assange, right? Let me see if I can just look up keyword execution. Yeah, long story dog, they have had a very hard time trying to prosecute Julian Assange. They spent a lot of time trying to figure out what to actually. So this is the guy here, Julian Assange. So they were actually trying to figure out what to prosecute him with, right? He was basically one of the individuals responsible for WikiLeaks, and there was one CIA employee who basically fed information into WikiLeaks and basically revealed a lot of information. Let me see if I can actually find that here really quickly. Um, I know maybe it wasn't the CIA, but it was basically a government organization. Get my facts straight. Let's see who reported information to. Okay, here. This happened a long time ago, so you guys got to forgive me. So basically, former U.S. military personnel Chelsea Manning sent the information to Assange. Manning was charged and sentenced to 35 years in prison in 2013 for violating the Espionage Act of 1917. So the guy um, who actually sent the information was actually prosecuted under the Espionage Act of 1917. It's really hard, in my personal opinion, it's really hard to actually capture, to actually charge people for leaking information. I think this Espionage Act of 1917 was just kind of an exception, right? So again, I don't think they're going to be able to get Tasha K. And like I said, even if they do, they're never going to risk losing their prosecution of Rkelly in order to basically get Tasha K, right? So, what are Rkelly's options? So, as Shakira Muhammad basically just pointed out, is to sue, right? Um, my personal opinion is Rkelly should sue for invasion of her privacy, right? He should sue Tasha K for invasion of privacy, and he should sue Tasha K for false light. And if he has the ability to, I think he should sue Tasha K for tampering with the witnesses. I don't know that you can actually sue for that. I'll have to look that up. I don't want to look that up right now. It's just going to take too much time. If you guys are interested, comments below, and I'll look up whether or not there's a chance to sue somebody for witness tampering. I can look into that later. But basically, in my personal opinion, Rkelly just got to sue the motherfuckers because that's the only way that he's going to get any type of relief. And I think along with suing Tasha K, he would also have to sue the government. And I think he should probably use that in his appeal. So I think the appeal is actually due April 17th. So there's not really a lot of time to do stuff. But I would probably, if I was Jennifer Von Jean, I would indicate in the appeal that we're looking to sue, and I would ask for permission to update the appeal in the event I actually did sue, right? That's the route I would probably take, because you want to definitely try to get that conviction vacated. And I think the best way to do that right now, hey, what's going on, Harlem, New York? I think the best way to do that right here, right now, is just simply to sue. Just simply sue. That's the only way that I think Rkelly is going to get any type of relief in this whole situation. So, that's pretty much the gist of it. If you guys want to come on and say anything, there's a StreamYard link right there. Definitely hop on. I want to hear your opinions. I know Shakira in the past you have hopped on. Feel free to hop on now if you want. You can hide your face because I know you don't want to be on the internet. But yeah, I mean, if you want to hop on and speak, you're definitely welcome. Other than that, I'm probably going to end the broadcast fairly soon here. I think in the future, I'm going to be delivering some more content. One of the things I wanted to cover is I wanted to talk about the whole Trump situation. I wanted to talk about the actual prosecutor, Alvin Braggs, who's actually prosecuting Trump. And I actually want to talk about these progressive states attorneys, right? In my personal opinion, it just seems like there's a trend in the U.S. to reduce the prison population, and they're doing it by not being so aggressive on prosecuting certain crimes. And to me, it's just kind of concerning, right? There's some things that I think they shouldn't be, prosecuting for. And I think historically, everybody knows historically, after slavery, they would find a reason to, lock black people up so that they could basically return them to slavery, right? So locking black people up has become a huge thing to do in the U.S. So I guess this whole progressive, this progressive approach to crime has been about rolling all that back. But I have some concerns, so I definitely want to, talk about that. I also want to talk about Michael Irvin, if I, didn't say that before. So you know what? That's pretty much going to be it for this broadcast. Like I said, look forward to some content in the future. I will be making some more Brother Polite videos to talk about that whole situation. There's lots more to come. Other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I guess